Who'd like to start?
I'll go ahead and start first. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that got up and spoke. This is a very difficult situation, and this is a very sensitive topic, and it stirs strong feelings in our community. And we up here as a council, we always have tough decisions to make, and sometimes we do have simple problems that come before us, and we can handle those. But it's ones like these that I think each one of us really takes it to heart. And personally, I mean, I've lost sleep over this. It's a huge decision that this council has to make. And I really respect our local dentists, our local healthcare professionals that have come in here and spoken in favor of fluoride. And they've highlighted the benefits that we could receive from having fluoride in our water system, especially those underserved community members that we have. On the other side, we have a recommendation from our Surgeon General. I've heard a lot of concerns from my constituents over the past several weeks. They view fluoride as government overreach, and it's been mentioned that it should be a choice. And I have to take that into consideration when I'm making my decision. Those people are worried about the health risk, and including links to fluoride to cognitive decline and other issues that have been brought before this council. These the studies that we've seen, a lot of times those showed higher levels of fluoride than what's currently in our community water. I can understand the concerns and the fears that our residents currently have with the fluoride in our system. I know we debated this about 4 years ago when I was on council, and the perspective has changed over those 4 years, from medical profession to the government agencies. And many people, they're more cautious about the fact that our communities are adding items to the water system. Some call them neurotoxins, some call them natural minerals, some call them medication. The fact is, the people that feel like this is medication, they are being medicated, not through their own desires. I was elected to represent over 20,000 people, and it's a difficult decision when we sit up here and know that we have that burden and we have to make a decision. Otherwise, we're bringing 20,000 people in here to make that decision on your behalf. So, like I said, it's a really, really tough decision, and I just want to let you know that I'm going to try my very best to make the best decision for the community as a whole. But thank you once again for everybody that came in here, and we really do appreciate all your testimony. Thank you.
Okay. Next.
Yeah, like I said, right after the last council meeting a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to be the man on the street. I'm going to do my own study. My own study is I'm going to go ask the Taveras residents, and we have some here. Those are the ones that I'm making the decision for. So I didn't even waste time after the last council meeting. I went to somebody who lives in Taveras, who actually is an expert in water and what we put in our water. And every time, if I see 2 or 3 people at a restaurant, I would ask them, "Do you live in Taveras?" "Yes, we do." And I would talk to them and get their opinion. And my decision today is going to reflect them, because I wanted their votes to be the ones that come out of my mouth today. There. So I did my own study. It's the Taveras residents. We can talk about money. We can talk about studies all around the world. I wanted to know, like I said last meeting, it would have been great to have a workshop, but I would like to know, and Councilmember Pfister was correct. We still had 2 weeks to get out there and talk to the people. I didn't talk to studies out there. I didn't talk to citizens from Leesburg or whatever. I talked to Taveras residents. And that's how I'm going to make my decision today. That's where my study comes from. And I think the majority of the people who said that's going to reflect my vote, I believe, are concerned citizens, and I believe their decision is right. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead? I have to agree with Councilmember Singer. I too have lost some sleep over this one. And, I've heard compelling arguments and professional opinions supporting the fluoride in the water. And I've also heard read and heard just as many, compelling arguments and professional opinions that support the removal of the fluoride in the water. So this is really, really hard. I mean, and, water would, here's how I have to base it, and you're going to know when I finish which way I'm going to vote, because I need to tell you this. Water with fluoride, it's very easily accessible. It's not expensive, and most grocery stores have water with fluoride, and there's a lot of other products you can get, such as toothpaste and mouthwash. They all have fluoride in them. And then if you don't want, so if you didn't have it offered in your water, this is what you could do. But then the people who don't want it in the water, they go by and have to go get the reverse osmosis, which is a couple $100, and then it's a continual, your filters and all that. So I think it's a little bit more expensive maybe than the water. I'm not sure. But anyway, then I had to think about, well, the city of Taveras, our only responsibility is to provide safe, clean water to our residents. That's all that we're supposed to be doing. And there's not one of us within the city or on this city council that can or have the ability or qualified to make any medical decision. And I feel like fluoride in the water is a medical treatment. So with that, listening to both sides, I believe both sides. You're sincere. Everyone's done their homework. I did my homework. But I've kind of come to the conclusion, if I'm going to make a common sense approach, because that's all I can do, is, and I think a common sense approach, both sides prevail. And that would be for the city to no longer put the fluoride in the water, because both sides win, because you can still get your fluoride, and you don't have to have the fluoride if you don't want it. So as a council member representing the people who live in Taveras, that's the only decision I can make, is to vote in. I have so much respect for Dr. Winker and all the dentists that have come in here, and I believe what they're saying, but it's not it's not fair to treat the people who don't want to be treated. That's what's not fair. So my vote will be to no longer put fluoride in our water starting immediately.
Okay. Councilman?
Yes, Mayor, I was with the understanding also that we were going to have some lab techs from our staff or whatever speak about this as well.
I don't think we had any plan on bringing.
No, what do you need to know, Cindy?
Well, it's not that, it's just that I thought we had a representation from the city as well.
That's me.
Okay, but that's what I thought, though, your lab techs were here.
No, I just have all the backup from them.
Okay.